This is the second time I get to interview this man, this legend. I also got to talk to him apart from the show, and let me tell you, I came out a better person after. We got to talk about his time as a kid when he beat up this boy in school for making fun of his Chinese heritage and the way he talked, and how the teacher came at him for doing so, his views on politics, his training in Taekwondo and Judo even before he met Bruce Lee, and how he was knocking guys out left and right in the boxing ring and admitting his losses to a few of those guys. He said those losses taught him a lot and made him better. He's told me so much, and I feel blessed that I get to know this awesome legend, this very wise and experienced man, master of the martial arts. He was best friend and training partner to the late great Bruce Lee. I give you Grandmaster Leo Fong. Remember, you have just entered the Maverick's Dojo. Because I was reading an interesting post the other day. You were talking about Bruce's boxing, and that it sounded like you were the inspiration.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I hung out with him for 12 years, and there's a lot of things went on between him and everybody else, and I was there, and I didn't make a big deal out of it, and I never had any pictures with Bruce, because in those days you don't carry a camera around. It's not like having a cell phone, and you say, "Well, let's take a picture." You see, but I was there, and then come to think about it, I felt that beside Jimmy Lee, he'd stay at Jimmy Lee's house for about almost a year. I lived there, and it was just three of us, Jimmy and Bruce and me. And in fact, I think I got a call from the producer today. He's going to do a movie about the Oakland era, which would be Jimmy, Bruce, and myself. And Greg Lee, the son of Jimmy Lee, it's going to be based on one of the books that he helped co-author. But Bruce, after I had this fight with Wong Joplin, which was not a fight really, because Wong Joplin was running from one room to the other, and Bruce tried to forward blast him with that Wing Chun stuff he had, and he was frustrated. And the guy tripped and fell, and Bruce got on. He raised up his fist and got ready to punch him out while he's on the floor. And the guy yelled in Chinese. He couldn't speak English. He said, "I give up. I give up." And he said, "Okay, you take you and your cronies out of here, and don't ever bother me."
Oh wow!
And so afterwards, he called me up. I couldn't make it because I lived in Stockton, which is about an hour and a half from Oakland. And he said, the son of a bitch ran from me. And I tried to forward blast him. I said, "Bruce, it's tough trying to forward blast somebody we're running from." I would have grabbed him by the neck and jerked him back, and I would have crossed him up and cut him and bludgeoned him. And so Bruce said, "Yeah, I got to do something." And it was right then he realized that he needed more than just Wing Chun. And so I said, "Well, I'll see you tomorrow." So I went down there. The next day, I drove all the way over to Oakland and knocked on the door, and Jimmy opened the door, and I said, "What's Bruce?" He said, "Hey, he's down in the garage working out." So I went down there, and you know what Bruce did? He hung a glove, hanging from a chain. He bounced right like Ali and popping it with his right hand jab and throwing the left cross and the right hook. He was bouncing around, which is completely opposite what he was doing before. It was like a shuffle forward and backward. I mean, if you've seen Wing Chun, that's how they do it.
You can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You could be the world, you war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can be the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. And you'll be on the walls in the Hall of Fame. You could go the distance, you could run the mile. You could walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records that don't never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Never gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day.
Most people don't know that Leo Fong was a boxer with over 25 fights, many of which he won by knockout. He also admits that he was knocked out himself a couple of times. And but anyway, he talks about why it's important to have some knowledge of boxing in your martial arts. So remember that you are still in the Maverick's Dojo.
And then, of course, you could see him expressing those theories in his movement. And when he's bouncing around, punching and kicking. And it totally fight the frustration from that fighting, no fight, no fight. It changed him. But at that time before, he was pretty good with the Wing Chun. He wasn't bad. The only problem was, if he turned and ran from him, then there's nothing for him to hit. See, he fought some Japanese guy in Seattle, and the guy came after him. He popped him with that forward blast. The guy was knocked him out cold. Wow. But with the Wong Jaman, the guy ran. That's like trying to catch Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah. That's why Pacquiao was frustrated when he fought Mayweather. Because Mayweather didn't come after him. Mayweather, shifted, twist, turned, and every way he could. He was very defensive.
You think that's always, it seems that historically that's always the case where the forward face fighter has a hard time with the defensive fighter.
Yeah, some of the defensive fighters, they all engage, defensive fighters all have one thing common. That's movable footwork. See, you got guys that are flat-footed like Joe Louis. Not the karate Joe Louis, but the boxer,
The Brown Bomber.
Yeah, Brown Bomber. Now, in his time, he was pretty good because he had a good punch. He knocked everybody out. But everybody that was good came along, had good footwork. From Gene Tunney. You see, everybody with footwork beat power. Gene Tunney beat Jack Dempsey, who had great power. And then Muhammad Ali beat Sonny Liston, who had great power. And he knocked out George Foreman, who could knock you out with one of his trip hammer punches. And then you got Floyd Mayweather Jr. come along, and was 49-0. And he fought the punchers, the brawlers, and then you got Sergio Martinez, who was pretty good. Cotto beat him, but he had a bad knee. And his knee was not bad, didn't give up on him. He would have beaten Cotto because he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Beat him like it was his son, 12 rounds. Until he tried to slug with him, and then Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. knocked him down, almost knocked him out. But he got up smiling. He said he shouldn't have done that. Yeah, because I hung out with Sergio Martinez, and he used to play soccer. His footwork was kind of like playing soccer. So Bruce, picked that up, and his idol was Muhammad Ali, because he bought every 8mm film he could find on the market.
Did you ever see Bruce? Did you ever see Bruce Lee fight in the street at all?
No, I just saw him spar with his guys like Sano and Ted Wong. Neither one of them a competition. One day we were telling them BS, and then he said, "Hey, let's go back to spar." So I went back to spar with him, and if I told everybody, they said I'm BSing. So I don't say much about it, but actually he couldn't do anything with me because I'm an ex-boxer. I didn't chase after him. I really, he bouncing all over the place. I just kind of, turn here, turn there to watch him. And when he bounced in and tried to hit me with that side kick, I sidestepped and he missed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we did it for about 15 minutes, and then finally he said, and then he dropped his hand, and we walked back into the house and sat there and started talking more about fighting, He had, pretty good respect for me, because his thing is, I had 25 fights in the ring, and I competed. I was an armchair martial artist.
Wow.
and then, so when I first met him, I was taking Taekwondo, and then I was taking Silwam and Twali Foot. I was going to those 3 schools every week.
Wow.
And so one day he stopped me and he said, "Leo, how come you going to all those different places?" I said, "Bruce, I'm looking for the ultimate." And at the time, I was really boxing. I was really in shape because I used to go down to the gym and box at Sacramento State University boxing team. I go down there and I start out with the bantamweight and move all the way up to the middleweight. And I was 132 pounds. And spar every afternoon, 5 days a week, because one of my church members was on the boxing team. His name was Roger Fong, but he was not related to me, but he was a Fong. And so he said, "Hey, Reverend, you want to go down and work out with us?" I said, "Yeah." I was sharp when I first met Bruce back in 1962. And so after he got in the fight with Wong Chapman, then he said to me one day, he said, I told him I'm looking for this and that. He said, "Man, you ought to take what's inside of you is the ultimate's in you." That's what he said. That was a turning point of that statement. To take that boxing skill and learn to navigate through all the ranges, the kicking, punching, the grappling range. And so I got thinking about that, and I quit going to all those places, and I just concentrate totally on boxing, and it's served me well all these years.
Is to you boxing the most important part of any fighter? To something that that we should all know boxing in order to be the best at any martial art?
Yeah, because I think if you want to see, there are two kinds of martial arts. There's a compliant fighting, where the guy you fighting stand in front of him and cooperate with you, and you're gonna look good. He's gonna make you look good.
Yeah.
You see, like George Dillman, he knocks everybody out with a touch here and there, But the problem with George Dillman, he hits the pressure points, and he's for real. He'll knock you out. He can stand there and let him pop you under the ear and under the chin and in your stomach and all that. But the problem is, if I don't want him to hit me, he ain't gonna hit me. Because I had one of his top students, Dustin Fields. He trained with me for a while. I said, "Dustin, why don't you try to hit me with one of the pressure points?" We were sparring. Now, I popped him in the stomach with a left jab, getting ready to set him up with a left hook. And that was the end of it. I hit him right in the solar plexus.
Oh, man.
He said, I said, the problem is you can tell George you want to, but they don't have a delivery system. They got the bomb. It's like North Korea. They do it threatening and making all kinds of noise. But how the hell are they going to get that bomb over here in the United States? They might eventually learn how to do it, but if they fall into the ocean, well, basically, you can knock somebody out, hit them with the pressure point if they stand there and cooperate. But if they move around, you got to set them up. It's going to be tough.
Yep.
And so there's compliancy, and non-compliancy is like boxing. It's free fight. You come to the fight with nothing on the agenda, and you're just going to counter whatever this guy's going to bring to you. You see, that's the difference.
Right.
That's non-compliancy fighting. And if you watch, everybody goes, "Wow, he's so fast." And I never forgot what my coach told me one time. That was 1947. I was boxing for Hendrix College in Conway, Arkansas. So I was watching my opponent. I said, "Well, I'm waiting on this other guy to get that bout to end so I can go in and fight my fight." So I decided, well, nothing else to do. I went to sneak down and peek. This guy was snorting, going on and sat a box in front of the mirror. And he looked pretty good. I came back, I said, "Coach, that guy fighting, man, he looks pretty good."
Huh.
You got to watch him. He looks like a pro. And then he said, "Sit down." He said, "Man, he ain't going to look so good when you start hitting him back." So we got in the ring. The bell rings. We touch gloves. I move around. I faked a jab to his body. He dropped his hand. Boom! I came up with a left hook. I knocked him out cold, man. Got down for 20 seconds.
Wow.
And he came back. And my coach is, we walking down the steps. He put his arm around me. He said, "What the hell did I tell you?" I said, "You're right, Coach. I will never forget this." I said, "These guys look good, but you hit it back, they ain't gonna look so good." That's my motto now. I was a counterpuncher.
A counterpuncher. All right.
I want you to throw a punch, and I'm gonna stick you before you throw something.
Wow.
And I move, and then if you miss, I come right back on you, and I keep distance. I met Timmy Lee at Steel Love School, and so we got to be good friends. And then he and T.Y. Wong had a big falling out after Jimmy helped him write a book. And then he said, "I'm gonna get out of here." He said he thinks I stole from him, and I helped him out and schooled him. I said, "I'm gonna start a class in my garage. You want to come? You're welcome." I said, "Yeah, I'll go with you, Jimmy." So I went with him to start training at his house in his garage. Then one day he said, "Hey, I'm going to have there's a young guy who's going to do a demonstration at Wally J's luau." So Wally J used to have a luau every year to raise money for his island judo club. And so I went there, and it was 1962, and Bruce Lee jumped on the stage and very cocky, doing all these old forms, and they looked impressive. And he said, "Now, how in the hell do you think you should fight with that?" And I looked around at all those old seafood guys, Kung seafood, their face turned red, and some of them you could see them seething with anger because he was saying this is a classical mess. And then so he asked for volunteers to come up and to stop his front hand jab, which was kind of like he acted as eye jab, but he jabbed him on the forehead. He won't hit him down there, and none of them could stop it. And then he would smile, and then he went on lecture, went on, and then that was it. And Jimmy afterwards said, hey, he's going to be at my house, and you want to come? He'll be there Monday night. I said, okay. So I came back out here Monday, and there's Bruce there in Jimmy's living room, and Bob Baker and a couple other guys. And he would take that Oakland phone book, which is about 3 inches thick, and he'd tell Bruce told him to put it on his chest. So he hit him with a one-end punch and knocked him into the couch and over the couch.
Oh, wow.
And then he would put a blindfold on and start doing Chief Saw. And moving this guy all over the room with a blindfold on. And that's the first time I've seen that kind of stuff. And I said, oh, that looks pretty good. That's interesting. And so then Jimmy said, well, he's going to come back in next year and start class down here. But I was training Jimmy anyway. And then, so when Bruce came, he started teaching people Wing Chun, you see. But it didn't make sense to me, so I told Bruce, I said, how come everybody's southpaw? You know, front hand forward. He said, well, are you right hand strong? I said, yeah, but also, too, I work off my left hand. I said, my left jab, left hook, right cross. And I did it, please, punch combination. He said, you do what you want to do. And I worked out a while with those guys, and I decided, well, I don't want to really mess up my style. So I ended up talking to him and Jimmy up in the room upstairs, in the living room, while the guys were in garage training. Usually about 6 to 8 guys show up, you know, on the night I'm there. And so I think Jimmy had total about 20 students, and with Bruce Lee when he was there. See, nobody knew Bruce at the time. He just a young, cocky kid, you know.
Right.
And then when he became Green Hornet, he was a little bit more. They began to notice him, and then, of course, he became world renowned after he made it Enter the Dragon. And he died. You see. Mm-hmm.
How was he when he became famous? Like, you know, how was his character? Did he change at all, or?
He was just cocky as ever, and then he hung out with his friends. You know, he kept writing letters to me. I didn't see him that much because he was in Hong Kong, but I got letters he wrote me, you know, and he would keep me up to date. And there comes a time he called me, and then I was laying there taking a nap one afternoon, and we have breaking news on the radio, and I heard him mention Bruce Lee, and I said, I got up, I woke up, and they said that he just passed away. I said, oh, no way.
Wow.
See, Jimmy had already passed away about the year before, 2 years before. I was at his funeral, and I spoke at the funeral. And Jimmy was one that I always talked to when I didn't see Bruce. And then Jimmy would tell me what's going on, because Bruce and Jimmy were like brothers. And when you wrote that book, Wing Chun by Jimmy Lee, but Bruce wrote the book, and Bruce wanted to help Jimmy because he has lung cancer. He needed money, so Bruce said, "Well, I'll write this book for you, put your name on it, and then whatever money you get, you can keep it." So that's how generous he was.
Wow.
Yeah, Bruce is on one side. You step on his toes, you're his enemy forever. But he likes you. He'd do anything for you. I did the Toy Fun book and the Silum book, and he helped me with both of them. I didn't know how to do a book, but Mito was his buddy. You know, the guy who used to own Black Belt magazine.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Leo, I get you on cover of a magazine. I said, what for, Bruce? I don't know anything. And he said, oh no, man. He said, you're a minister and you do martial arts. That's unique. And so he brought me down here, and Mito interviewed me and gave me a cover shot. I'd only seen that Black Belt magazine be on cover.
Yeah. Wow.
1971. and then he asked me afterwards, after he said, hey, you want to write a book on Silum Kung Fu? I said, I don't know how to write a book. And I said, I never wrote a book. I taught English and composition in high school and college. And had to take an extra course to pass to get my diploma. And he said, and then he showed me 3 books that Jim Lee had written. And he said, I made over, $500,000 off of these books. And I said, wow. He said, people are hungry for martial arts books. And if you get a Silam book, it don't work. So I looked at it and I said, well, it looks like more pictures than anything else. He said, yeah. Martial arts artists don't read. They just look at pictures. I think I do that. So I came down one weekend, and Bruce hung out with me the whole weekend. And we, the photographer shot the book, in 2 days, and Bruce helped me put it together. And then when the book came out, it sold 100,000 copies.
Wow. My goodness.
I got 6 months, I got a royalty check. And it was $8,000.
My goodness.
And the book was selling for $4.95. So I made it for $8,000. That represents a lot of money. A lot of books sold. And so I told Bruce, I said, Bruce, man, that book selling hotcakes. He said, yeah. He said, that's why I knew that it would. That's why I only encourage you to do it, We spend, in fact, Linda just told me when I saw her in October up in Seattle, and she said, I remember when you and Bruce stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning breaking down those forms in the Silam Kung Fu book, trying to figure out what those movements, how to apply it. And so she remembers that, you see.
Wow.
And she knows how close I was with Bruce and how I hung out with him.
Yeah.
But you see, I remember some kid called him Bruce one day, and he said, "Hey, don't call me Bruce. I'm Sifu to you." But he never, for me, I was his equal. He never wanted me to call him Sifu or some title. I just called him Bruce.
Did a person have to call him Sifu even on the street, just like a normal guy?
He was in Jim Lee's house. And some guy was training downstairs in the garage and came up and said, "Hey, Bruce." He said, "Don't call me Bruce. I'm your Sifu."
Oh.
That's Jim Lee's house. I said, "Wow, I didn't know." I said, "Bruce, I didn't know you were that formal." He said, "No, that's all I'm done as my student. I got to teach him how to be respectful."
Oh, that's right. That's great. That's great.
So right then, it defined my relationship with him. Yeah, he thing about Bruce is he's not going to tell you he's getting information from me. He will bring up a question and you explain it. He kind of listen and he give his opinion, and pretty soon he's going to do it.
Attention business owners. Reach over 100,000 martial artists a month by advertising with World Martial Arts Media. We can put your product, service, or event announcements in front of your target audience. Advertise with World Martial Arts Magazine, World Martial Arts Radio, World Martial Arts TV, or all 3 media sources for the biggest bang for your advertising buck. Visit www.worldmartialartsmedia.com and click on the advertising link to see just how amazingly affordable it can be.
I knew he was soaking it up when I'm doing some boxing stuff and demonstrating how I would handle a certain situation.
So
you see, what I learned how to do street boxing. No rules. Grab a guy by the hair and you punch him out.
Wow.
Or you grab him by the ear and you twist him around and you punch him out. And stuff like that,
He liked the fight?
Oh, he did. He loved it. He was a hot head, man. But then he's always practicing. Every minute he was doing something to refine his fighting skills. like I went to dinner with him after went to lunch with him after we did the photograph on the books. He said, "Hey, let's go to Chinatown." We went to Golden Dragon. So me and one of my black belts that was posing with me in the book, the three of us went to Chinatown. And he would tap his finger on the table. And he would tap. And I said, "Bruce, what the hell are you doing? You see that guy over in that table over in that corner? I'm anticipating when he's going to put food in his mouth. And I want to tap before he puts the food in his mouth." And he said, "That's hitting on initial wound."
Wow.
He said, so I started doing it with the windshield wiper. When it's raining, I would put it on the interval, and I would tap the steering wheel before the thing goes over to the right or left. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was able to relate everything that has no relation to that. That's why I watch a lot of basketball games today. Watch a lot of basketball. Now I watch guys like Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant and these real top of the notch players, because they have a certain unrhythmic, broken rhythm footwork.
Yeah.
So Bruce called me on one day and he was all excited. He said, "Leo," he said, "do you watch Bob Hayes?" I said, "Well, yeah, he's an Olympic 100 dash champion." "Yeah." I said, "What about him?" He said, "Well, when he gets to the starting block, they say, 'On your mark, get set, boom,' the gun goes off." And he races down the track and he wins. But when they said, 'On your mark, get set,' he raised his heels and he propelled off his heels. I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got to lift that rear heel to propel yourself to close the gap." I said, "Yeah, but Bruce, I do that all the time in boxing." See, he just discovered that himself. So he crossed knowledge. See? So that was what made him so great. His mind never stopped thinking. And if you do anything, see, for instance, you ain't gonna never beat him. One time, it was one day was when we were doing 28-foot book. So he was all enthused because he had discovered exercise, how to improve the grip in your hand, your arm. He did an arm thing, and so he said, "Leo, come here, grip my hand and try to twist it." He got me to do arm wrestling, standing up, not at the table, stand up arm wrestling. So, but at the time, I was pretty strong because I weighed about 170, and I bench pressed about 250 pounds. And so I said, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Well, bend my arm." So we twist. And then all of a sudden, slowly, I got the best of him. He said, "That's pretty good." I didn't realize how intense that sucker was. The next day, it was Sunday morning. He said, Bruce said, "Leo, come here. Let's do that arm thing again." I said, "Okay, Bruce." So we locked hands together. Man, he almost broke my arm.
Wow.
I said, "What the hell are you doing? Did you do that? You practiced all night, Bruce?" He smiled, had that that smile of his.
Yeah.
I said, "You sucker, it must have bothered you all night. Me beating you yesterday." And so he showed me the exercise he was doing. He said he did it almost all night long. Wow. He would lay. He had a weight on the end of a pipe, and then he would like a windshield wiper. He would grab the end of the pipe. It would go. He would turn his wrist over and back and forth like a windshield wiper.
Wow.
So
overnight, he developed the strength overnight.
Yeah, overnight. He worked out all night.
My goodness.
And then the next day he called me off balance and said, "Hey, let's do it again." And so he did. I could feel the strength, man. I couldn't hold it back. I said, "Okay, Bruce, you got me, man." I said, what do you do? You train all night, you know? And
Okay, so we have Sifu Jose Knight of Red Cloud Kung Fu with us to talk about his upcoming tournament in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So my first question to you is, can you please tell us when and where this tournament is going to take place?
Sure. The tournament is called the Big Brawl in Atlantic City. Will be held at the Bally's Hotel and Casino.
Awesome. And what are the costs to join for registration?
Registration fee for sparring, also empty hands and weapon sets is $30 to get in for the tournament. But that also covers you for the Expo 10 that's also going on at the same time. I'm basically doing this with Sifu Cliff Cooper on his expo, so I'm helping him out with it. Usually, my tournament was held in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and this year he had asked me if I could go ahead and have the tournament over at his event.
Very cool. What kind of events are we going to be seeing there?
From what I'm understanding, he's going to have, like comic book people there. A lot of different martial artists will be there. He tries to make it where everyone can have a little bit of everything going on at his event. For the tournament, you will be seeing sparring. You'll also be seeing empty hand forms as well as weapon forms. So it'll be like a regular tournament. If you've ever been to a tournament, it is an open tournament, so it invites all kinds of styles. So it won't be just kung fu. You'll have taekwondo people there, as far as karate people will be there. So a little bit of everything. So that way, one of the things that I believe in is when you're studying martial arts, is the only way to actually go out there and prove to yourself that you're learning something is to go to tournaments. So I'm a big tournament freak. Growing up in New York and being in martial arts, I was big into tournaments.
Oh, wow.